Let's get to our headlines this second hour, which are brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Miami Dolphins season comes to an end, 7-10 on the year. This was Mike McDaniel yesterday after the game on if he will be back next year.
Yeah, the conversations. I'll stay consistent with the conversations that I have with ownership. I won't opine on, but I think I'm operating the same exact way that I always have, which is no one's entitled to anything. I take the job serious, and so I will aggressively attack the job tomorrow, and like every day that I have the job, because I think it's supremely important to not minimize your responsibility and what people need from you. So I think realistically, I know I understand the question and appreciate it, but I'm going to keep my conversations with ownership to myself.
You said that 15 minutes ago, Mike. That was the first thing he said.
Mm-hmm.
And he finished up with the same thing.
Bum.
Great. He's not a bum.
Bum.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just use the small one.
Baby bum. I just the problem is, again, I'll give you a perfect example. Right?
Oh, Philip Rivers wants to be a head coach. Want him? I'd be into that. Would you be into that, Brittany? Philip Rivers, head coach of the Dolphins?
Can he have a one coaching job before? I'm tired of coaches who've never coached before.
Came in, almost beat the Seahawks.
As a player.
It's got to be something.
Dude, he was closer to a coach than a player. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. So when Miami and Ohio State were playing, right, they started the game and they wanted to expose the Miami secondary. So they were running all these routes in the secondary. Their quarterback was getting sacked.
Yep.
So then they tried to throw a short pass. It got picked off. Pick six.
Oh, what a time.
Right? But they were trying to make adjustments because I really think that pass rush caught them off guard. This is early in the game. Right? It caught them off guard. They go into halftime. They come back in the second half, and they go 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and 1 back. Right? And it gave them time. And then Jeremiah started going off because he's just running rampant through the secondary.
Sure.
And then it looked like Mesidor and Bain were getting a little tired because they were getting doubled. That was that stretch during the third quarter. So then the Canes come back and they say, oh, this is how you're going to play us? Oh, we're going to blitz the hell out of you. And it kind of took what I said about Junior saying is that he's been playing easy football to this point. He ain't never been under pressure. And now you got all these guys on the line of scrimmage. He don't know where to look. And you get beat a couple of times on those things. But for the most part, they were countering what Ohio State was doing to block Mesidor and Bain by putting those tight ends out, widening the rush, double teaming, chipping, all these things. Because they figured if we can get our 2 wide receivers in the secondary, then we can still win. But we got to protect the quarterback.
Yep.
The Canes did a hell of a job of stopping the run. So, therefore, they still were one-dimensional. And then when they started blitzing to counter that, now you put them in another difficult position, whereas we're still getting pressure. We got 2 tight ends, and now what? So, that's how a game plays out. Sometimes you don't have time to make those adjustments to work, and the time runs out, but it's a back and forth with teams that you are recognizing what they're doing to you and what do we have in our system to combat that. We don't come out the second half. What do you think would have happened to Ohio State if they would have came out and just said, we just got to protect better? Okay, well, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
So you got to do something for this game right now if it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get frustrated with Mike about.
Yeah, because he's got no answers.
He doesn't even try.
Mm-hmm.
So it frustrates me because that's a good football game to
Just
me.
give him the offseason.
If you're watching a football game and you either watch, like sometimes you watch a game with a fan.
Right.
They just want to see who's winning, who's not. I look at the game and say, ooh, I see that. What are they going to do to combat that? Because dude right here can't block. So what are they going to do? And just watch the back and forth and see these coaches just mentally going back and forth. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
It is.
And if you have two really good teams, it makes it even more interesting because the more adjustments you make, it still boils down to beating the person in front of you. That's good football. That's fun football.
Well,
But to watch these Dolphins game after game after game, when I look at the other team and say, oh, this was the adjustment to Achane running wide, or this was the adjustment to this. Here was the adjustment to that wide. And you come out and do the same stuff? No.
counterpoint. Just give him the offseason. That's all he needs.
By the way, let me say this.
That's what he needs.
Halftime adjustments are coaching 101. You shouldn't need an offseason.
He's going to take a course.
You know how long it would take?
Where does he go to coaching?
You know how long
101?
it take to make some adjustments?
How long?
3 minutes.
Yeah. Where does he go to coaching 101? Who can he go to this year?
He could go to coaching rehab in Alabama. Well, he can't. No, Simmons not there no
Can
more.
he go to Jimmy Johnson and the Keys, or just to keep
No,
that stink away from him?
No.
Take a little ride down
Jimmy
there.
don't want none of that.
Jimmy's like, I'm busy right now. I'm going to Tempe. You know?
Let me see. Who would I go? Who would I send Mike McDaniel to rehab?
Brittany, excited to see Jimmy Johnson eat Tostitos out of a trophy?
You're getting ahead of yourself.
No, I'm not getting ahead of myself.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
I'm not getting ahead of myself.
Brittany, I'm with you here. Okay. There's a reason why Ole Miss is playing. You're playing Ole Miss because they're really good.
Oh, they beat Georgia, dude.
That don't mean nothing.
Nah, they beat,
Okay, when one SEC team beats another SEC team, I give them little to no credit for doing it because they all assume that they're all good.
I give a lot of credit for what they.
I did not think Alabama was that good. I didn't think Alabama should have been in the college football playoff. They weren't that good. There was nothing that they did that was that impressive all year, except beat up on other SEC teams that they're familiar with.
No, but I think Ole Miss going and beating it with all the stuff they've had to deal with, all the players had to deal with that nonsense.
It's football, baby. It's football.
It is football,
You
but
know,
it's still impressive. It's still impressive. I can be impressed.
Sometimes when you have turmoil and you have all this stuff around you, football is the saving grace. To be able to concentrate as a group on one goal, that helps.
I better say a lot of prayers because somebody's ready to bless them.
Oh, I would say this though. Like again, I'm curious to see one. They have another running quarterback. He's a little more arm talented than the Texas A&M guy, but he also runs, right? And he throws better than Texas A&M guy. So just imagine Texas A&M guy, but he's a good passer, right? Really good. I would say, believe it or not, I'm tending to think this might be a Carson Beck game. This might be a game where Carson Beck has to make some throws, and the Canes have to beat him making some chunk plays down the field, because they run, and here's how I'm explaining y'all Ole Miss game goes sideways. They go no huddle. They do a lot of no huddle. So no huddle, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Now your defense is getting exhausted, and Mario's pounding you. That's hard to play catch up from because
that's tough.
You want to play fast, and if you play fast and keep getting stopped, the energy of your defense is running out. Then you get to a point where you got to play slow and play at the pace of the Canes. That's how these games play out. Now, conversely, I've told you, the Canes give up scores early. They haven't shown they can play catch up. So which one of those methods are going to win? Right? They're going to hurry up. They're going to run a hurry up. Are you going to stamp them? Or are you going to stomp them? And then
I think that has to be impressive, though, is the Canes basically, when everybody was talking that they went and did this against the number one defense, and they
Who?
did the Canes against Ohio State.
That-
That's what they said. I don't think no
You think
no one's calling Ole Miss that.
let me ask you this.
Mhm.
You've watched those games.
Mhm.
You telling me Ohio State's defense is better than Miami's defense?
No. But that's what they said. I'm saying
they say a lot of things.
I'm saying challenge-wise going in, I don't think Miami's looking at, now the Canes are probably like overlooking Ole Miss, but if you're saying what defense is tougher that you're going up against, would it be Ohio State's or Ole Miss? I think you'd probably say it would be Ohio State's.
The thing I worry about with Ole Miss's defense is they seem to ramp it up when their team has the lead, so they play with that kind of that energy when they have the lead. I'm wondering how they would play if they're getting pounded and their offense isn't doing anything, and they're needed to right the ship. You know what I mean? To like, hey, let's get a couple of stops and give our offense more chances when the offense is running no huddle and putting you right back out there. That makes you want to quit too. I just think this will be, as a whole, I think this will be a bigger offensive test than Ohio State, because we knew where all the strengths were with Ohio State and their wide receivers and supposedly their quarterback. You went after the quarterback and kind of eliminated one of the wide receivers. That
Don't worry, he's coming in next year.
That was crazy, right?
He looks
so with this team, right? They're all around. They kind of complement one another with how they do things defensively, offensively. Like you look at the quarterback, and the quarterback has been really good. But when you think about that team, you think of the overall team. Offense and defense, they play well together.
You a little nervous, Brittany, about the Malachi Tony dropskis lately, or the fumbles?
No, I'm not nervous.
He's gonna bounce back.
I think so. Yeah.
That was a heads up play though when he did grab the fumble. And
it bounced right to him, which was the crazy thing. He started running again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not worried about it.
Here's the deal. You ain't getting there without him.
No way.
And you ain't getting past Ole Miss without him at all, ever. So why are you sitting here? So you think he'll get over this? He'll get over that? He better.
He better.
He better. We ain't got no choice.
Yeah,
no, but
they're not going to stop going to him. So
right.
He needs to figure it out.
But I wasn't. I mean, like they basically, this was a game where, I mean, like the other guys had to step up. Daniels was good. Marion was good. Like I thought that they stepped up in a big way too.
I think they tried. They made a conscious effort to try and take Malachi out of the game.
I can't believe they went to Jamar Brown. That was crazy. I can't believe they went to Marty Brown on that third down. I was like, he was out of nowhere. He was in the game.
It was crazy.
But that's, what's funny though? I've seen this before. I've seen guys come in, right, when somebody was a little banged up, and guys come in, the quarterback just reading and then throw it, and they go. Right? Because you're throwing to the open receiver. You're not throwing to a player.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think people get lost with that, because, if I want to, if I'm a defense, if I want to, I can take a player out of the game. And the way what you used to do in the NFL is, who's your biggest trash talking wide receiver? The diva. Let's shut him down early. He'll complain at halftime and it'll be over, right? He'll, in effect, take himself out of the game. So that's a lot of times what teams try to do is, like for the Dolphins, they would say, let's get Tyreek out of it, right? He'll get frustrated, and then that'll bring the rest of the team down. So Ole Miss isn't really like that.
You got another firing. Not surprising. Raiders have fired Pete Carroll.
After 1 year?
Fired.
You know what? Listen, Raiders, you can hire me. $5 million, what? I take $9 million a year.
Leroy could definitely win 2 games.
I can win 2 games.
He can win 2 games.
I can win more than that.
I think so too.
I can win more than that.
Well, you want to call Tom Brady?
Huh?
He's leading the he is This is the statement from Mark
I'll
Davis.
tell you how you want to save a bunch of money?
Hmm?
Stop hiring coaches and giving them 5-6-year deals and then firing them after 1 year.
Las Vegas Raiders have relieved Pete Carroll of his duties as head coach. We appreciate and wish him and his family the best.
He'd take this $50 million on your way out.
Moving forward, general manager John Spytek will lead football operations in close collaboration with Tom Brady, including the search for the club's next head coach. Together, they will guide football decisions with a shared focus on leadership, culture, and alignment with the organization's long-term vision and goals. That is from Mark Davis.
Hey, question. I'm not trying to be funny here.
Hmm?
When was the last time? How long you been watching football?
A long time. I'm 39.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you associated the word culture and the Raiders? Their first owner was a menace to society.
It's Tom Brady's the culture.
But you understand what I'm saying? Even his dad
Mm-hmm.
used to sue the league what are you talking about, culture?
Lane Kiffin. Remember that? Overhead projector. Mortensen.
There's certain organizations that are built on chaos. And we understand that. It doesn't make them any less appealing to their fan base. In fact, it makes them more appealing because everybody thinks you're a bunch of rebels. So if you're a Raiders fan, you're a rebel. Is this not an accurate assessment? So what part of culture with guys wearing shoulder pads with spiked helmets, with spiked shoulder pads to games when we used to have to go to the games in jail buses with the bars on the windows so we wouldn't get glass in our face? That's how you used to have to go to a Raiders game. And I was always thinking, the epitome of culture right here. No!
I think when they say culture, I think that what they really should write is, don't worry, Tom Brady's got it, baby. And that should have been Mark Davis' statement. He's going to use his Tom Brady magic.
That's
what that is.
Do we associate culture with winning?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for the most part.
The Raiders have had some winning. I'm not going to say they haven't.
Been a while, though.
But nobody was talking about culture. They were still talking about we're rebel rousers.
Didn't John Madden pay jail bills for them winning the Super Bowl? Wasn't that a legendary story?
No, they didn't. Who played in the Super Bowl? Who was the center?
Oh, Barrett Robbins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Raiders!
That was crazy.
It's okay.
Even their best player right now looks like a Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, it's okay. We get it. The Raiders are you're special in your own way. We understand what you are. Okay? Rebels. But here's the deal. Please don't tell us you're looking for culture. There's nothing you've ever done, right? I don't know. I would say that Pete Carroll could have probably brought them some.
That's what I thought Pete Carroll was supposed to do. Pete Carroll brought the Seahawks USC culture. You know, he had changed his image.
So my question is, didn't they have Geno was the quarterback?
Yeah.
That Geno Bill was due, huh?
Geno Bill was due, dude. He led the league in interceptions only because Tua got to sit the last 3 games, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.